the galaxy had boundaries, and some boundaries were sacred. In the sector of Elyra, legends spoke of the Elyra, a being so powerful and mysterious that even the most daring explorers avoided her orbit. She was untouchable, invisible to the eyes of common men, shielded by technology older than humanity itself. Entire fleets had tried to breach her citadel, only to vanish without a trace. Captain Kael Draven had heard the stories since he was a cadet. Some whispered she was a queen of a lost civilization. Others claimed she was an artificial intelligence so advanced it had transcended corporeal form. But Kael had never been one for stories. He trusted facts. And the fact was, his ship, the Vesper, had been sent on a routine exploration mission near the fringes of Elyra when his sensors picked up something impossible. A human heartbeat. Not just any heartbeat, one that synchronized perfectly with a pulsing energy signature deep within the Elyra's orbit. Kael adjusted his course, heart pounding. Whoever, or whatever, resided there, they were not expecting a visitor. As the Vesper breached the outer perimeter, a figure appeared, suspended in a halo of light. She was tall, impossibly graceful, her form shifting as if made of liquid crystal. Her hair floated around her like a halo of stars, and her eyes, burned with a color Kael couldn't name, something between molten silver and the shadow of infinity. "Identify yourself," she said, her voice not loud but somehow felt within Kael's chest, reverberating against his very bones. I'm Captain Kael Draven of the United Starfleet. I come in peace," Kael managed, struggling to keep his composure. The Elyra's gaze pierced him, and in that instant, Kael felt a lifetime pass. Memories that weren't his, visions of stars exploding and civilizations rising and falling, they crashed into him like waves. But instead of fear, a strange clarity settled in his mind. He knew he was standing before something beyond human, beyond time, yet somehow waiting. "You are not like the others," she said, her lips barely moving. "Why do you see me?" Kael swallowed. I don't know, but I think I was meant to." Her laugh was soft, almost musical. It filled the void of space itself. "Many have tried, many have failed. They approached with weapons, with ambition, with arrogance. You approach with curiosity. That may be the difference." Kael took a deep breath. "Then what are you?" "I am Elyra," she said simply. "And I have been untouchable for eons." For hours, or was it days? They floated in silence. Kael learned that Elyra was the last of a race called the Aetherians, beings of pure energy who had once ruled the galaxy alongside humans until a war shattered their empire and forced them into hiding. She had spent centuries watching the universe evolve, unable to intervene, untouchable and alone. And yet, in Kael's eyes, she saw something unexpected, the spark of humanity unbroken by fear, a willingness to understand rather than destroy. "You are different," she whispered. "I have shielded myself from all, yet you are untouchable to me as well." Over the following weeks, Kael and Elyra formed a bond that defied reason. They explored the ruins of lost planets together, deciphered the ancient languages of civilizations long gone, and shared dreams of galaxies yet to be born. Kael learned to navigate the currents of her mind, and she learned the fragile beauty of human emotion. But the universe does not allow untouchables to remain so forever. One day, as they traced the remnants of a collapsing star cluster, an alert flashed on Kael's console. A fleet of star cruisers, armed, organized, and relentless, was advancing toward Elyra's citadel. The human governments had grown impatient with legends. They wanted power. They wanted control. Elyra's form shimmered in distress. "They will destroy everything. I cannot stop them. Not alone." Kael's hands tightened on the controls. Then we won't let them. Not today, not ever. In the chaos that followed, Kael and Elyra fought side by side. Her energy flares could obliterate entire cruisers in a blink, yet Kael's tactics kept them moving, alive. For the first time, Elyra's untouchability was tested, not by curiosity or fear, but by trust. And trust, she realized, was stronger than any shield. As the last cruiser approached, Kael made a desperate move. "We have to synchronize," he said, eyes meeting hers. "Together." The moment their gazes locked, something extraordinary happened. Elyra's energy enveloped Kael, integrating him into her being, not erasing him, not consuming him, but merging, creating a singularity of human and Aetherian essence. The fleet tried to fire. Their weapons disintegrated before crossing the energy barrier that now surrounded Kael and Elyra. In a dazzling display of light, the cruisers were vaporized, leaving nothing but drifting debris. When the light faded, Elyra looked down at Kael. She had touched him, truly touched him, for the first time in millennia. And he had touched her in return, not with fear, not with awe, but with understanding. "You see me," she whispered. "I see you," Kael replied. "And I always will." The galaxy itself seemed to pause, acknowledging the union of human courage and Aetherian power. No longer untouchable, Elyra had found her equal in Kael, and together they were unstoppable, but not because of strength alone. They were unstoppable because they had learned to trust. Months later, the Vesper returned to human space, carrying not only tales of Elyra, but a new understanding of the universe. Kael and Elyra became legends, not as conquerors, but as ambassadors of harmony between species. And somewhere, deep in the sector of Elyra, a light pulsed steadily, reminding every traveler that even the untouchable could be touched if they met the right eyes. Ending, cinematic for video. The final scene unfolded against a backdrop of swirling nebulae. Kael and Elyra floated above a rejuvenated planet, their forms entwined in radiant energy. "I was untouchable," she murmured, her voice echoing like starlight. "Until I met you." Kael smiled, taking her hand. "And I thought I was just a man. But with you, I've seen what lies beyond life, beyond fear, beyond everything we thought we knew." As the camera pulled back, the galaxy stretched endlessly around them. Stars shimmered, alien worlds glowed, and for the first time in eons, Elyra's light was no longer isolated. It spread, touching everything, showing that even the untouchable could find connection. And somewhere, in the distance, the faintest heartbeat resonated, a reminder that courage, empathy, and love could change even the most impossible of fates. As the alien world's twin suns dipped below the horizon, the air shimmered with the last remnants of her untouchable aura. She had always been untouchable, a creature of perfection and fear, until he had met her eyes, and in that gaze, something impossible had stirred. He stepped forward, heart pounding, feeling the energy around her pulse like a living thing. Her eyes, once cold as distant stars, now glowed with a warmth she had never allowed herself to show anyone. "I thought no one could ever reach me," she whispered, her voice trembling for the first time. "I saw you," he said softly. "Not the untouchable, not the legend, just you." For a moment, the world held its breath. Then she stepped closer, and the invisible barriers that had kept her isolated for centuries began to dissolve. Her hand brushed his, a spark leaping between them, a connection stronger than any force in the galaxy. Around them, the alien city seemed to exhale, the colors of the sky shifting like a symphony of light, reflecting the impossible truth. She could be touched. She could be loved. And as they stood together, eyes locked, the universe itself seemed to acknowledge a new reality, one where even the untouchable could fall, and even the human could hold a universe in his hands. She smiled, not the cold, untouchable smile the world knew, but a real, fragile, and beautiful smile. And in that smile, the human saw the beginning of something neither time nor stars could ever end.